If you're thinking about buying your first home, stop scrolling Zillow for just a second, because there are 5 things I would never let a first-time homebuyer skip before starting the process. And stay until the end, because I'm also going to tell you how to know if you're choosing the right realtor. And that decision can make or break your experience. Hey friends, I'm Stephanie Deeds, broker and owner of Point Realty here in the DFW area, and welcome back to South of Cowtown with the Deeds, where we talk all things buying, selling, moving, and living in DFW, especially south of Fort Worth. And if you're thinking about buying your first home, whether that is 6 months from now or 2 years from now, this video is going to save you stress, confusion, and honestly, probably a lot of money too. So let's jump into it. One of the biggest mistakes I see homebuyers make is only focusing on the maximum amount that they're approved for. Just because a lender says you can buy up to a certain amount does not always mean you should, because your monthly payment is more than just the mortgage. You are also looking at property taxes, homeowners insurance, utilities, HOA fees, maintenance, repairs, and just life happening. And especially here in Texas, property taxes can vary a lot from city to city. 2 homes with the same price tag can have very different monthly payments depending on where they're located. I always tell buyers, you still want to be able to enjoy your life even after you buy your house. You don't want to become house poor where suddenly you can't travel, save money, go to dinner, or handle an unexpected repair because every dollar is tied up in your payment. And honestly, sometimes buyers are surprised that the payment they're actually comfortable with is lower than what they initially thought. So before you even start scrolling Zillow at midnight, convincing yourself you need the giant kitchen and resort style pool, sit down and figure out what monthly payment truly works for your lifestyle. So let me ask you this. When you picture your future home, what matters more to you? A bigger house or more financial freedom every month? Because once you understand your comfort zone financially, the next thing you need to do is get prepared before you start shopping. Please do not wait until you find the perfect house to talk to a lender. I know so many buyers feel nervous to start the process because they think they need perfect credit or a huge down payment saved up first, and that is just not true. Getting pre-approved early does a few important things. It helps you understand your options, it gives you realistic budget, it catches problems early, and it allows you to move fast when the right house hits the market. Because trust me, the worst feeling is finding the perfect home and then realizing there's a financing issue that could have been fixed months earlier. And here's another thing. A lot of first-time homebuyers don't realize how many different loan programs exist. There are FHA loans, conventional loans, down payment assistance program, first-time homebuyer grants. We can get you seller concessions. There's rate buy-down opportunities. There's so many different strategies depending on your situation, and sometimes buyers qualify for way more than they expected, while others realize they need just a few small adjustments to get there. But you don't actually know until you have the conversation. So be honest, have you talked to a lender yet? Or are you still just casually browsing homes online, hoping it all magically works out later? And speaking of surprise, let's talk about the costs most first-time homebuyers don't think about. Everybody talks about the down payment, but that is not the only money involved when buying a home. You're also going to have things like earnest money, option fees, inspections, appraisals, and additional closing costs. There's moving expenses, and if you don't understand those ahead of time, the process can suddenly start to feel very overwhelming. Now, the good news is there's a lot of ways to reduce upfront expenses depending on the market and the loan program. Sometimes sellers contribute towards closing costs. Sometimes lenders have incentives. Sometimes there are grants available. But this is why education matters so much, because buyers who understand the process ahead of time usually feel calmer and more confident, and that means we make better decisions. And honestly, I think that's one of the biggest goals when buying your first home. You want to feel informed, not pressured. So let me know in the comments, what's the biggest thing that surprises you about buying a home? Is it the process, the finances, the competition? I'd love to know. Now, once you understand the financial side, the next step is figuring out what kind of home actually fits your life. This one is huge. Before you ever start touring homes, make 2 separate lists: your needs and your wants. Your needs are things that truly impact your daily life: school districts, commute time, number of bedrooms, location, layout, safety, accessibility. Your wants are things you would love to have: a pool, a media room, white oak floors, a giant pantry, the Pinterest kitchen. And listen, it is very easy to get emotionally attached to pretty houses online. I basically want to remodel mine every time I search through for a client. And listen, if a beautiful house creates stress in your daily life because the commute is terrible or the layout doesn't work for your family, it may not actually be the right house. I always tell buyers the perfect home usually doesn't exist, but the right home absolutely does. And sometimes buyers discover during the process that what they thought mattered most actually wasn't what mattered at all. Now, finally, let's talk about something that honestly can make or break your entire experience. Not all realtors work the same. And if you're a first-time home buyer, this part matters so much. One of the biggest red flags to me is when an agent immediately starts showing houses before ever sitting down and educating their client. You should never work with a realtor who isn't willing to sit down with you for a buyer consultation, or what we call at Point Realty, a buyer strategy session. Because before you buy a home, you deserve to understand what the process looks like, what timelines to expect, what costs are involved, what happens during inspections, what happens if something goes wrong, and how to strategically prepare when you're ready to write an offer. That conversation changes everything. At Point Realty, we do this with every single buyer because we never want our clients walking into one of the biggest financial decisions of their life confused or overwhelmed. Our goal is education first, because when buyers understand the process, they feel empowered, they feel confident, and they make smarter decisions. A good realtor does not just unlock doors. A good realtor helps protect you, guide you, negotiate for you, and prepare you. So if you're watching this and you've already bought a home, what's something you wish you'd known before buying? I would love to hear your responses. And if you're a first-time home buyer, what part of the process feels the most intimidating to you right now? If you're thinking about buying a home anywhere in the DFW area, especially south of Fort Worth, my team and I would absolutely love to help guide you through the process. Whether you're ready now or just starting to think about it, we can help build a strategy and understand your options. Make sure you reach out to us, schedule a buyer strategy session, and let's create a plan that works for you. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for South of Cowtown with the Deeds, because we put out new videos every single week about buying, selling, moving, and living in DFW. And I'll see you in the next one.